Drilling or boring with the target of using groundwater as the source is a very attractive alternative for using the frost-free nose pump. There's less disturbance, which is a consideration if you plan to build the insulated pad right away. The bore must be a larger diameter than the culvert cribbing to allow room for material such as gravel to flow into the corrugations of the perforated culvert. A so-called 24-inch poly culvert has an outside diameter of approximately 28.5 inches, which would require a 36-inch bore. The culvert needs to be perforated to allow water to flow into the culvert. Perforating can be done by drilling or punching many holes through the culvert wall. This is done in the zone of the ground where water will be entering, generally the bottom half of the culvert. Backfilling with coarse material next to the perforations will prevent plugging and preventing sand and silt from entering the culvert. There's usually no need for a floor at the bottom of the culvert because in most cases by the time the minimum 18-foot depth into the ground is reached, the soil is heavy clay and water will not flow through the bottom. If the soil at the bottom should be sand or gravel, a floor may be required to prevent water loss, unless this is your water source. In the illustrated example, the producer had to go to a depth of nearly 40 feet, requiring him to join 2 lengths of culvert. The casing choices can be steel, cement, fiberglass, or poly. Steel is the least favorite because it can rust and will conduct more temperature. Double-walled poly culverts have a hollow corrugation which provides an insulation bonus. The poly culverts are also lighter and easier to manipulate when backfilling to ensure the culvert is level, an important aspect of installation. Depth and diameter are important considerations when boring or digging in the well cribbing. These 2 factors determine how much geothermal heat will be captured. The deeper and/or larger diameter, the more geothermal heat will be gained. Generally, a 6-meter or 20-foot culvert, minimum 24-inch diameter, that is 18 feet in the ground is recommended on the Canadian prairies. Variations can be made for warmer or colder climates. Once the wet well is constructed, calculation of well recovery and water reservoir can be done to determine the capacity or the number of animals that can be provided with water. This will also determine the number of frost-free nose pumps that can be mounted onto the wet well up to a maximum of 4 on a 24-inch cribbing. If more than this number are required for your herd size at 100 head per pump, the solution is to go to a larger diameter cribbing or develop more stations with multiple nose pumps on each. Multiple stations also provide more flexibility of herd management. It's always a good idea to seal around the culvert with bentonite to prevent contamination of the water from surface water.